Alrighty guys, tis I, ChrissieGirl, and welcome to the first part of my new playthrough, Lego Harry Potter Years 5 to 7. Well, I did the first game, so I may as well do the second one. Get it over and done with. Geez, saying it that way kind of makes it sound like I hate the game, but I don't. I actually really love this game. I like it more than the first game. Even though it doesn't change dramatically from the first game, it's still my preferred game of the two. Some for fangirl reasons and some just because, well... well, just because there are some improvements. Okay, so... the obvious main thing to note with Years 5 to 7 is the story does get a bit darker. But obviously it doesn't lose its Lego charm, its Lego humour. It never really, takes itself too seriously, and I've always liked that about the Lego movie franchise games. So yeah, I wanted to show off the entire title screen here, just very briefly, before I get stuck into the game. Obviously, we're going to start off in Year 5, Order of the Phoenix. So, we'll start a new game. One very minor change. In Lego Harry Potter Years 1 to 4, the autosave head that would bob around whenever it was saving or loading or whatever would be Harry. In Years 5 to 7, it's Voldemort. Which is awesome. But it's only one very minor, tiny change. So anyway, we start out in the park. Harry's obviously miserable, considering all the events that have been going on in the event, Year 4, which was in the previous game. And his cousin Dudley's being a douchebag. Harry didn't make it rain. Harry didn't use rain dance. But anyway, first level, I admittedly do take quite a lot of time with because I'm still a stud addict. I do ease up from Year 6 onwards, but unfortunately I'm still pretty bad in Year 5. So, you can get studs by swinging on the swings. Whee! You may notice that there's these studs that go up this kind of coloured wall. Can't go up there yet. It's part of a new thing that came in with Years 5 to 7, which is the Weasley boxes, and I'll discuss the Weasley boxes a little bit later on when we come up to them. Whee! Slides, swings. It's paradise here. Why would you ever want to leave? Well, I imagine you would want to leave if you were hungry or if you wanted to go to somewhere better. I mean, look, they got a trampoline as well. I don't think they do trampolines at parks round here. Health and safety. Okay, so there's 2 slides over here. Whee! Okay. For some odd reason, Harry can perform magic outside of Hogwarts here. And yet the only thing he's going to get called up upon is one spell. And yet look at all the magic he's performing in front of Dudley. Yes, Dudley's actually a playable character in this game. There are actually quite a few characters that become playable that weren't playable in the story of the first game. Which is kind of cool, and Dudley's one of them. You may notice that Dudley's got a kind of glowy thing around his feet when he's walking. A glowing trail. A glowing trail basically means that he is a super strength character. That's right. This level does require use of super strength, and Dudley has super strength, so we'll be switching to him a little bit. throughout the stage. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that now. That nets quite a few things, including a character token. Character tokens obviously make their return, obviously. Hogwarts crests, all of it makes a return. Hogwarts crests, studs for the true wizard rating, everything really. So, let's leave the park. We don't really want to stay here, we want to get home. It's raining, we're going to get wet. Blasted Harry using rain dance. There's a red wall thing on that garage over there. Come back later once you've learned the spell Defindo. There'll be something behind there. Quite a lot of things to zap in this stage, admittedly. Plenty of studs to pick up. Blast the car. And then switch to Dudley when I finished zapping and getting pretty studs. Pretty studs. But not a whole lot has actually changed. I mean, there are some new things, obviously, and I'll point them out as we go along and we come across them. But really, the essential core gameplay plays the same as it did in years 1 to 4. You know, you're still doing basic puzzles and stuff. Still lots of studs to collect. Still lots of collectibles to find. Like I say, it doesn't change all that much. And down there, in that stream where Dudley dropped a minute ago, dark magic area. I think it's a student in peril down there. That's one thing that's changed about this game that I mentioned in years 1 to 4 when I was playing it. I think it's between stages, not exactly in stages, but students in peril give you a crap ton of studs when you rescue them. Obviously not so much in the stages, but outside of stages around Hogwarts and the hub worlds. Yeah, they give you a crap ton of studs for rescuing them, and it's great. There are other things like noticeable differences. I mentioned that there were hub worlds. Hogwarts is not the only hub world. Obviously, in years 1 to 4 it wasn't, but there's more hub worlds in this game. And there's always a route connecting Hogwarts to the other hub worlds. And it's just much better. It feels like a much bigger experience. And obviously we'll be coming across those hub worlds when we get to them. Or, you know, all those areas. But in the meantime, you know, the levels are pretty fun. I will admit that. This level's kind of cool, and I think it's cool that I can actually play as Dudley. Just collecting more studs now, because I can't get enough of them. Yeah, this part's really just straightforward. Just get out the park. Knock down those Lego pieces and you'll be able to build a staircase with them. There's obviously a little picture on the bottom there where you can, which basically show you roughly how to build the staircase. If you build a staircase correctly, you get more studs. So if you don't care about it, and just build the staircase any old way, as long as you get up there, really, that's all that matters. But if you do care about collecting studs, then try and do it the right way. And I'm going to try and do it the right way, just to demonstrate the stud awesomeness. Still a little bit finicky with the levitating these to get them down, but it's not bad. Oh, for goodness sake, I didn't want it to go there. Go where I tell you to go. You were in the right place before. Now go back there. Thank you. This is the one I wanted. Stupid orange block. I wanted the red one. And I don't want the red one to go there. That's the only problem. It's a little bit finicky to control. With, you know, making the staircase. But there, 3 blue studs. For getting that right. I won't necessarily be doing that for the rest of the playthrough. I'm obsessed with collecting studs, but I'm not that obsessed. But anyway. Oh my god, Dementors. Just as scary as ever. Dudley's useless here, so just expecto patronum the lot of them. It makes no sense to me, because in the book and film it was only 2 Dementors, and yet here there's like 1 million of them. So just keep going until, you know, it reaches a point where, you know, it just sort of stops. Harry just sort of edges forward every time he uses it. No! Get away from my cousin! And you! I hate you all! You bastards! This is going to happen at some point eventually anyway. So Harry uses expecto patronum. And obviously realises he's got himself into a great big doo-doo. Even though he's done loads of magic already. You know, levitating all those things in front of Dudley and not a word. And yet as soon as he uses expecto patronum, you know... There's some interesting artwork here. Yeah. So, for whatever reason, the Dursleys have gone out and we are now being rescued from our prison by what is known as members of the Order of the Phoenix, a group of people out to fight Voldemort. This part's quite straightforward. Just fly around. Follow the studs where you can if... You know, if the stud count matters to you. Try and aim towards the blue studs if you can. This is fairly automated, you know. It's on rails. You're always going to go in a set direction, just, you know. It's not a bad little section, but it don't last very long. We're nearly there. In fact, we are there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have now escaped the Dursleys once again. And Tonks is one clumsy bitch. She's just knocked everyone out of the sky. Apart from Harry and Kingsley, who seem to be okay. Kingsley's Shacklebolt, of course, for those of you who don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna spend a lot of time here collecting studs. Basically, the whole idea is we've got to rescue the 3 characters on the top of the screen. Because Tonks is so clumsy, she's caused them to just scatter around, and they basically need help. So we got to do that for them. Also, as well as that, we also need to, when we have all the 3 characters, we need to all perform some magic at the same time in order to get into Grimmauld Place, which is obviously where Sirius lives. The house that would, you know, soon prove to be a prison for our good old godfather. So anyway, what can I say? Order of the Phoenix, not my favourite book. I've got to be brutally honest, it was my least favourite book. It wasn't that it was too long or anything, it didn't seem like there was a whole lot going on, but But it was okay. I mean, I still enjoyed the book. I mean, it just wasn't my favourite compared to all the others. And the same goes for the films. It was also my least favourite film, but you know, it's still a good film. Just wasn't as good as the rest, in my personal opinion. There were aspects of Order of the Phoenix I did enjoy. Like one of the characters we're going to get introduced to. It's a character that I really love to hate. She's like my least favourite character, but it's in a way that I love to hate her. I don't have an issue with hating her because I enjoy hating her. She just makes it so easy. But we won't be introduced to that character until the next part, I believe. So let's just zap all these flowers. Plenty of things to zap, admittedly. I do apologise if it seems like it's dragging on me collecting studs and all that rubbish. Like I say, I'm pretty bad for it at the beginning, but I do get better with regards to not collecting so many. You may notice some sparkly objects. Need Reducto in order to blast them and break them. You get quite a lot of studs for them. Kingsley can perform Reducto, so if that matters to you, switch to Kingsley. He can use Reducto. I don't know why I'm still using Harry. Kingsley is obviously so much better, but Harry's the main character, so I suppose that's why I'm using Harry. There's more variety in what characters can actually do, so obviously there's more like reason to switch or to come back to a stage. You may notice I was over by this broken down vehicle earlier. Arthur Weasley is the only character in the game that can repair blue Lego. So obviously that's a good reason to come back to this stage with Arthur Weasley once you've unlocked him. Because he's the only character that can do that, so fairly handy. Other characters, well, I won't go into too much detail about it because I don't really want to spoil the game and not have a lot to talk about when the times eventually come, you know, to talk about them when it actually becomes relevant. So I'm going to try to just talk about it as I come across them, but I thought I'd mention Arthur Weasley because there was that broken down vehicle and a message did appear on the bottom of the screen saying only Arthur Weasley could repair blue Lego, so I thought I'd mention it. I'll mention it again when I come across him, I think. In fact, that'll probably be in the next part as well. The characters are relatively easy to find. I've already found 2 of them. Just, you know, all very straightforward. When in doubt, just zap everything. No doubt you'll find what you're looking for. Oh, plenty of studs for doing that. That's good. Would have been nice to have got something else out of that, but hey ho. I'm just a bit annoyed. It was such a lovely, beautiful, sunny day this morning and I had to work. As soon as I leave work, sunshine's gone. Just really annoys me. So I think this is how we get to the... There you are! Down you go. Sorry if I broke a few bones while you dropped down there, but... Now there's only one character to left to save. And that's obviously why we all need to band together and use Leviosa on this part, because you can see the pair of legs dangling about. Mad-Eye Moody's obviously stuck in the fountain. Tonks got him bad. Naughty togs. So I'm just gonna make sure that I've zapped all the shiny things. Okay. There's Mad Eye Moody. Occasionally you'll find characters that have dropped items that belong to them. So you'll be able to take that item back to that character. One other thing I like about this game is that if you pick something up, an arrow will appear telling you where to go with that item. Which is really handy because I don't think the first game had that at all. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Grimmauld Place in Lego form. This is where Sirius Black, Harry Potter's godfather, lives. That house elf looks really creepy. But anyway, everyone's obviously arguing and pretending that they're actually, getting along. And we're also reunited with our good friends, Ron and Hermione, and obviously Ron's brothers and his little sister. But yeah. We'll see the next part, guys. We'll see you then.